Los Angeles, November 2019. The skies are polluted. The world is addicted to oil. But we're here to offer a solution. The Cybertruck, the #1 mode of transport for a cyber girl. The greatest evolution in vehicular fashion and function.
Hey, I'm Stephen and this is Solving the Money Problem. If you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. In this video, I'm debunking the 7 biggest Cybertruck myths. Cybertruck is unquestionably one of the most talked about, divisive and misunderstood vehicles of all time. Everyone seems to have a strong opinion. It's either the ugliest vehicle ever, a work of art, or both. Cybertruck broke the internet when it was unveiled in November 2019, spurring endless discussion and debate about its unique, category-defying design and what it means for the future of vehicles. One thing that's really struck me is how many people have been willing to offer their opinions on things they appear to have done minimal thinking about. People are, of course, entitled to their unqualified opinions. I have no qualms with that, and I'm all for free speech. I mean, I'm about to dish up my own unqualified opinion. But because Cybertruck has so deeply penetrated culture and reached every corner of the interwebs, many of those voicing their thoughts are doing so on very large platforms to huge audiences of naive consumers who happily accept their conclusions without thinking for themselves. I've seen doofuses spout drivel on the Joe Rogan podcast, prominent YouTubers vomit up garbage, TV anchors self-immolate with incredibly stupid comments, so-called industry experts expel nonsense, and today I'm done. It's time to debunk these Cybertruck myths. Before we dive in, let me be clear. My intent is not to attack anyone personally, but rather to attack their ideas and beliefs, and I will be ruthless. Do not confuse my unmerciful approach to the truth as malice towards those spouting or believing nonsense. Good people can believe dumb shit, in fact billions do, but I'd rather they didn't. So, as I eviscerate these myths, some of which you may have been fooled into believing, don't take it personally. The ideas suck, not you. With that said, let's debunk the 7 biggest Cybertruck myths. Some of them have a grain of truth. Others are plain ridiculous. Let's deal with them all. Hey guys, if you live in the US, UK, Australia or New Zealand and would like a free stock or two, check out the links in the description to WeBull and Stake. It also helps out the channel. Let's get back to it. 1. It's not safe. This is by far the most common Cybertruck myth I've seen. I get it. Cybertruck's exoskeleton is made of bulletproof steel, so if you know approximately zero about vehicle safety, engineering and physics, you'd be forgiven for taking a glance at Cybertruck and thinking, damn son, that is some pointy ass shit, and it's made of steel. If that thing crashes, it's gonna win. I'd hate to be the other guy. Let's address this. Before even touching on Cybertruck itself, it's worth noting that Tesla has always said its #1 priority is safety. Everything follows safety. And Tesla is not all talk, they actually walk. The Model S, Model 3 and Model X are the 3 safest vehicles ever tested. This alone should give you pause. Tesla's engineers are smarter than you. That too should give you pause. But let's go deeper. First, Cybertruck has an extremely low center of gravity like other Teslas who house their heavy battery in the floor pan of the vehicle, greatly improving handling and massively reducing rollover risk. But that's not what's cool about having a battery. What's cool is not having a massive metal engine between you and whatever you collide with. In a Tesla, the entire front of the vehicle is a crumple zone, providing about 3 times as much impact protection as an ICE car whose engine is in the way. But wait Stephen, how can it crumple if the steel is so strong? Great question. Quite easily. See, the thing about engineers is that they engineer things to perform in certain ways, whether software or hardware. Yes, modern vehicles are actually designed to perform predictably in collisions. You can score materials to fold or bend in certain ways, use bolts that shear off upon impact, use shock-absorbing materials, and maybe you've heard of airbags? I could spend an entire video just on Cybertruck safety, but I suspect I'd lose most of you if we went down the physics and engineering rabbit hole. Instead, let me sum it up. Cybertruck will be one of the safest vehicles in its class. Period. I say this with confidence, not from a place of arrogance, but reason. Just because Cybertruck looks like a gigantic slab of solid metal does not make it unsafe. Many mistakenly made this assumption without any understanding of how vehicles are engineered to perform in crashes. The entire front and back of the vehicle are huge crumple zones protecting impactor and impactee. And in terms of a side impact, that's the one place you do not want to crumple. Perfect for a rigid steel exoskeleton. with Tesla's insane collision avoidance features and ever-improving autopilot software, it will be a rare event indeed for a Cybertruck to be involved in a crash. And in such an event, I'd rather be in the Cybertruck than anything else, just like I'd rather be in a semi than a compact car. I'll admit, physics is physics. There's no escaping the fact that the more massive a vehicle, the better it will fare in a collision. But the idea that Cybertruck will be unsafe in a collision is honestly just plain dumb. Be smarter than that. 2. It's not street legal. The second most common myth is that Cybertruck isn't street legal. Many are confounded by Cybertruck's unusual aesthetics and think something that different looking can't be legal. Some say it's too big or too pointy. Let's clear things up.
Herp derp, it looks very different. I'm scared, Daddy. Please hold me.
Is not a valid reason for assuming Cybertruck isn't street legal. First, we must acknowledge that the rules for what is and is not street legal vary throughout the world. I'm sure there's somewhere on Earth where it's legal to mount a rocket launcher on your car. Rules vary. However, there's nothing intrinsically illegal or unroadworthy about Cybertruck's design. Period. Despite appearances, its dimensions are smaller than the largest pickup trucks too. A few buffoons think that the lights are illegal, or that the steel will reflect light and blind people. Without even addressing those directly, let me ask a question. Do you really think Tesla are dumb enough to design a vehicle so inappropriate that it cannot legally drive on roads in the markets in which it will be sold? If your answer is yes, you just don't know Tesla. The other half-valid point on street legality is the Cybertruck's conspicuous lack of side mirrors. This is legal in much of the world, but besides that, if Tesla must add them, they can. However, it's far more likely they will fight antiquated laws as needed and win with logic. Using screens to display side and rear vision from the self-driving cameras is an equivalent, if not superior, solution. Best case, reason prevails. And in the worst case, Tesla can release a Cybertruck, DIPSH County Edition, with side mirrors to appease those whose grey matter has abandoned them. 3. It's too big for Europe and Asia. This one really irks me. Not because it's untrue, but because of the shallow thinking of those saying it. There's no question a full-size Cybertruck would struggle in the streets of Rome or Beijing. I mean, the thing is about as big as my first apartment. But this isn't a problem. Allow me to quote from the Cybertruck webpage under specifications. All configurations are US specification only. Global specifications will be developed at a later date based on demand. Translation: Tesla will adjust whatever they need to about Cybertruck to meet whatever requirements are in place in whatever markets they release Cybertruck in. Okay? It's literally on the fucking website. Next time you hear Cybertruck is too big for XYZ market, you can kindly point this person to the Tesla website, or more obnoxiously, tell them that in fact their mouth is too big. Pickup truck drivers won't buy Cybertruck. I admit, a certain breed of diesel sniffing, coal rolling, pickup truck driving truck gas will vomit in their mouth at the thought of driving an electric vehicle. Many others will be so scared of something different that they dismiss it without a second look. These folks are effectively flat earthers. Nothing you say or do will sway their entrenched beliefs, and that's okay. Most of us understand the earth is spherical, and most consumers are willing to look at the facts as well as listening to their emotions. And the facts are, Cybertruck is utilitarian as fuck, and unquestionably far better value than anything comparable. Yes, there are special use cases like needing a flatbed where it won't suit. I get it, but Cybertruck is not designed to suit every single consumer on the planet, just most of them. The onboard power outlets and air compressor, the secure vault, insane amounts of built-in storage, the adaptive air suspension, absurd approach and departure angles, epic range and performance, extremely low cost of ownership, badass autopilot features, extreme durability, etc. make it very, very appealing. It may take time for Cybertruck to penetrate deep into the truck market, but mark my words, it will happen. There's only so many F-150 drivers able to resist an unequivocally superior, better value, more functional, better performing, lower cost alternative. Never mind the off-roaders, van lifers, hunters, tradespeople, repair people, maintenance workers, police forces, military, city councils, and everyone else who does the numbers and realizes Cybertruck is their vehicle of choice. I know it looks different. I know it's something new. Everyone laughed at the iPhone when it was revealed. There's no way that will gain any meaningful market share. It's too different, too functional, too good. Now who's laughing? 5. It's expensive to repair and hard to look after. If you forgot already, Cybertruck is made of bulletproof stainless steel. If you scratch the exoskeleton and actually care to remove the scratch, why I don't know, but whatever. It's literally a matter of using a Scotch-Brite and buffing it right out. I'm not even kidding. Seriously. Of course, Some worry that because the exoskeleton is folded from a giant piece of steel, if you get a dent, you'll have to replace the entire thing. Wrong. Knocking a dent out of the steel is a task any competent metal worker can perform. It's going to be far cheaper to repair damage to the body than a traditional vehicle with its fancy panels and paint job. But what about being in a collision that deforms the entire exoskeleton? Great question. It would take a truly colossal impact to deform the exoskeleton beyond repair, a collision the force of which would write off any other vehicle, meaning you'd be in the same boat. Again, this is a non-issue. Small damage is easily, quickly and cheaply repaired. Major damage is just like that to any other vehicle, a write-off. 6. It can't tow like a gas truck. Apparently, the tri-motor Cybertruck will not in fact achieve a 500-mile range while towing. No shit, Sherlock. Unbelievably, I've heard this touted as a reason why Cybertruck can't compete with gas pickup trucks, as if the laws of physics cease to apply when using gasoline or diesel. I truly don't understand the thinking behind this. Yes, all vehicles lose range when towing or carrying a load. This is physics. The same thing happens when your morbidly obese uncle drives his car. This has nothing to do with your energy source, gasoline, diesel, or battery. There is a direct correlation between how much mass you are moving and how much energy is required. The more you tow, the less your range. This non-starter of a point is equivalent to saying, if I punch myself in the face while in a Cybertruck, it will hurt. Yes, it will. Same if you're in an F-150 or Silverado. Next. 7. It's too expensive. Relative to the so-called competition, Cybertruck represents outstanding value. Starting at just under $40,000 for the single motor, $50,000 for the dual motor, and $70,000 for the tri-motor, it's certainly not within the budget of many broke-ass students, but sits comfortably among the trucks whose lunch it will eat. And remember, Cybertruck has one optional add-on, full self-driving. Every other feature comes standard on all models. This is rare for a new vehicle. Many seem all too eager to trip over themselves and fixate on the sticker price without thinking or using a calculator. Believe it or not, what you pay to buy a vehicle is not how much it costs you. Purchase price is part of the equation, but in isolation, it's meaningless. We must also consider the total cost of ownership, which includes running costs, e.g. how much it costs to charge or refuel, how efficient the engine, motor, powertrain are, e.g. how far you get on one tank/charge, and your ongoing maintenance costs. EVs are far cheaper to power than ICE. And with just a handful of moving parts, the annual maintenance on a Tesla typically amounts to little more than refilling the wiper fluid and replacing the wiper blades. Seriously. Of course, not all consumers run these numbers. I mean, after all, most pickup truck drivers don't use any of the features unique to a truck, yet willingly buy one anyway and bleed money on fuel as their inefficient gas-guzzling behemoth of a vehicle lugs its massive, underutilized self around. In terms of value, nothing comes close to Cybertruck. To match its features and utility with an ICE vehicle would be a costly endeavour. Secure lock-up bed as standard, onboard power outlets, onboard air compressor, beautiful sleek touchscreen display, cutting-edge self-driving computer, a suite of cameras and sensors, industry-leading infotainment, Sentry mode, smart summon, autopilot, built-in ramp to the bed, dynamic air suspension, armoured glass. Need I go on? So why did I make this video? I literally read all the comments on this channel, and there are thousands of them. Because of this, I notice trends. I see the same points being articulated by different people making the same errors of logic and reason. I hope that this video has challenged, if not debunked, some of the more common fallacies about Tesla's Cybertruck. Many have a grain of truth in them, but are easily dismissed with a little thought and reasoning. Everyone is entitled to their opinion, but only the truth is entitled to be believed. I welcome and encourage more discussion about Cybertruck and the points I've made, so don't be shy to leave your thoughts in the comments below. But before you do, think. Don't assume. Don't trust your intuition. Don't recite someone else's opinion. Put your emotions and preconceptions to the side. Think and reason first. Talk second. And if you can't do that, perhaps it's better to stay quiet. I'm Stephen Mark Ryan. This is Solving the Money Problem, and I love you all. And don't forget your free stocks with WeBull and Stake. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you agree or disagree? What evidence do you have? Did you believe any of these Cybertruck myths before watching? Do you have any legitimate concerns I missed? And of course, if you have any ideas for future videos, let me know. I read all your comments. PS, if you're still watching, you're awesome. If you'd like early access, exclusive videos, regular Q&As, our private Discord server and more, consider supporting the channel at patreon.com/solvingthemoneyproblem so I can continue creating content for you guys. There's a link in the description, and you can now also become a member of the channel for some exclusive perks. To learn more, click the join button next to subscribe. Either way, the best form of support is you being here and watching, so thanks again.